really anxious about this thing happening in the Ukraine, which is appropriate, right?
Yeah.
Um, but just what it may trigger in terms of control frameworks for people, I think is probably a really good idea, especially given astrologically what I'm seeing come up for the collective in terms of literally control frameworks.
Okay. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So we are live, which is thrilling. So
Yay.
grateful to be here with all of you. Let me double check. You guys can all hear me. Hi, everyone. Hey, Allison. Allison, how is the sound? Lana, can you say something?
Yes. Hi. Hi, everybody.
How's the sound? You guys got to let us know if the sound is balanced and clear. Hello, Hyde, Pallavi, EA, and Jessica. Great to have you. Allison, Hope Glitterati, great to see you. Flower and Forgiveness, thank you. Awesome. Lynette and Mel, Kelly, awesome. Raven and Damien. Okay, cool. Thanks, Damien. Thanks, Hope Glitterati. Okay, perfect. Hey, Gemini Princess. Fabulous. Then we'll just dive right in. I think, we're all kind of anxious to get some healing work in at this time. And for very good reason, right? We have this this invasion of the Ukraine by Russia going on. We have plenty of polarization, energies planetary wide. We have all the triggers that may have come up from Shadow Work Week. If you participated in any or all of the live interviews, I am certain that you yourself may have experienced the tension of this particular lunation because it's been real. There's been a lot of tension showing up at this particular time. And I talk a lot about the tension of this moment inside the new moon update and what the choices are if we want to use this in shadow or use it in light, because we always get that free will choice. So it's almost perfect timing. I'm so grateful Lana said yes to being here today as we wrap up Shadow Work Week, the 7-day shadow work experience. It's basically an online conference. If you're just joining us today, no big deal. Everything that you missed has been recorded and is available to you in the Shadow Work Week playlist here on the K Moon YouTube channel. My name is K Moon, and I am a twin flame channel and Western astrologer, and I'm your host for Shadow Work Week. And this is our final experience, live experience together. I am joined today by Lana, healer, medicine woman, and I will be sharing the link to her YouTube and Instagram in the chat. But you're in for a total treat. Lana cultivates sacred space for healing and integrating the divine feminine and sacred masculine on the planet. She provides energy healing and spiritual teaching for everyone, in particular, those who recognize themselves to be star seeds, intuitives, healers, twin flames, and light workers. Lana also provides healing and guidance on the spiritual path and awakening process, and she encourages the light within and spiritual growth through self love and awareness. Lana's a master healer and spiritual teacher who has been assisting others since she was quite young as an integral part of her path and mission. She specializes in ancient healing techniques, energy medicine, shamanism, light language, and toning, energy and light body work, as well as healing the field through color, frequency, and calibration of the physical and etheric bodies and fields. Now, you don't need to know what any of that means in order to be able to receive the gift of healing today. In fact, you don't even have to be one of the people who believes that they can receive a healing through something recorded digitally on the internet in order to receive today's healing transmission. All you have to do is just open yourself up, find a way to relax and allow the energy to flow. And I promise you, you will get something from this. Lana's also been assisting all souls and twin flames in the birth and the return of the divine feminine and masculine to the planet Earth at this time. Lana, welcome. It's fabulous to have you.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you so much for the introduction.
My pleasure and treat. I've worked with you many times privately, and I've had you as a guest here on the channel many times as well. Before we dive in, we're actually going to do something different today. For those of you who have been a part of the experience this week, you know that we tend to open with an interview and with Q&A. Today, we're going to open with some Q&A and end with a longer healing. So I'd like you to think about what questions you might have about the experiences that came up for you personally during Shadow Work Week. Even if they weren't about your own shadow, maybe they might be about, how you're experiencing collective energies during these major transitions and world events. I'd like you to put into the chat the questions that you might have for Lana about how to heal, how to integrate, how to grow in this energy. Because Lana will take this and she will build it into the way she's working with us for healing today. Okay, so I'll give you guys a minute to add those. Jessica Marie shares that she's exhausted today after a week of shadow work and the collective energy. Yeah, I totally get it. I get it. I know some of the things that came up for some people this week that we didn't get the chance to talk about had to do with some folks had asked about addiction in different live interviews. We didn't get to talk about that. And certainly with the collective energies that we're experiencing now, if people have like an addictive coping mechanism like eating or binge watching the news or oversleeping, just sleep, those kinds of things can come up. Eve asks here in the chat, how can you focus on healing when there are major world events happening? That's a great question, Lana. I'd love to hear your take on that.
Of course. Yeah, actually, I was talking a little bit about this yesterday. I was also doing a little bit of this call live to help specifically the people who are going through a war at this time and people who are affected by this. And I was doing this because we as sensitive souls, as light workers, as human beings, right? But the more sensitive we are, the more we're able to perceive things that are happening. It doesn't matter if they're happening to us directly. We are a collective, we're all connected, and we feel and we share these experiences in this collective unconscious or this collective energy. So you always see that when these world events happen, there are some people that are more triggered, and there are different types of triggers that come up, which have to do a lot with shadow, because they are actually like wherever they come up, that's actually where our shadow is lying in that particular moment, or that's where it's manifesting, right? And the shadow, as we know, it always comes up in order to be seen, acknowledged, and many times in order to be integrated and healed, right? It's like when we integrate, we rebalance, and then it becomes neutral. So, as sensitive souls, when this is happening, and also in your life, whenever you have a major life event situation happen, things that you don't control. And I say this from the experience of having a brother with mental paralysis. We had like a life or death situation almost every day, right? It was like almost every 2 weeks or almost every day, depending on the moment. So I grew up with this very present in my life. So when we have those situations, we always have to remind ourselves that we have a choice. We have a choice of how we react to things. Just like when, if there's something happening, like here in Mexico, we have a lot of earthquakes, right? You always see different types of people, and you see the people who it starts shaking and people start to scream and they go like completely, into the feeling and the emotion and the fear. And then there are people who are completely unbothered and everything in between. So we all are reflecting these different states of consciousness and different states of being. But when we come into the spiritual path, when we start to do our meditation, we start to do our healing work, we have these communities, we have these spaces where we are actually able to slow down and relax. Even if it's just 10 minutes out of your day, that can give you enough resistance, enough like space for when anything happens in your life, you can choose. Instead of going into fight or flight response, you have already created the spaces where you can say, okay, how do I choose to react to this? Do I go into the emotion of it? Do I go into the drama and the tragedy of what's happening? Or do I go into maybe a proactive space? Do I go into neutralizing this energy? Do I go into a heart space and start to send blessings and prayers for the people who are going through this? So you see, there's always a choice in how we react to the circumstances. And those choices, the more aware we are, the greater impact they have on not just us, but our families, our friends, our like smaller sphere of influence, but they also always have a reaction in the greater sphere of things. So when there is a fire, right, the more you become aware of the fire, you know that there is a certain way that will be more helpful for you to go out of the building, right? Or to make it out okay. And the way is to be calm, because that way your mind is focused, you can do what you need to do, you can even help people. If you let yourself be dragged out by your emotions, you won't be in a position to do that. So similarly, when we're facing adverse situations, there has been this tendency of responding with the same energy and with the same frequency. But if we respond with the same energy and the same frequency, that frequency just gets magnified. You're just pouring fire into the fire. So what I have learned through my experience is that if we can bring ourselves to a place of calm and just calm energy, neutral energy, it doesn't have to be peaceful, it doesn't have to be any particular emotion, it just has to be neutral. Neutral is enough. You can bring yourself to a neutral space. From there you can do and be and decide and choose a way of reacting to it that will probably benefit you and everybody else more. So in this case, it would be if we are seeing the energy of fear and pain and war and betrayal and all kinds of things and panic or whatever, if we go into panic mode by seeing this, we're only going to add to that, right? So the effort here would be to, if we see that this is happening, go into the most neutral space. Go into the most neutral space that you have within yourself and anchor peace, anchor a higher perspective, anchor hope, anchor, resolution. You can even see in your mind this conflict being resolved. You can see everybody returning to their homes safely. You can see everybody having a place to stay. I personally like to see everybody being taken care of by their angels, by their teams, receiving everything that they need, receiving food. So you can make it as detailed as you want, but if you go into this type of visualization, for example, through this energy of being calm, you can actually start to energetically contribute to the solution and the resolution of whatever is happening. And it can even be indirectly just by changing your mindset, just by internally holding your energy neutral, connecting to God, because we're all here, as divine beings, connecting to God's source, the divine, however you call it. And from there, react from your higher self perspective, which is always going to be beyond the human fear, beyond the human chaos, beyond, the immediate sort of like more survival response. If we are in a position to go into the higher self and to react from there, we will be able to contribute much more, and you will be able to stay calm and neutral even through a situation, because you know that there's a higher purpose for that. You know that you are contributing to that peace and to that state the more you cultivate it within you. And that doesn't mean that we become passive, or that we are not aware, or that we're oblivious to things, because that is also another extreme. We're not. We're seeing things, we are aware, but at the same time, we don't let anybody or anything control us or influence our energy. We determine, as divine beings, who we are in this world, how we react, and what the quality of our energy is. Okay, so the more you work in being in that state of peaceful, in love, in resolution within yourself, you will also be projecting that outward. Okay, I hope.
Yeah, it's a beautiful answer. And it echoes some of the other questions that have been asked by other members of the audience here today. So that's kind of one theme. I've been catching them all and putting them into thematics for the healing. And that was definitely one theme. Like, how do we, Jessica Marie even echoed that. She had said, how do we allow ourselves space to process our own heavy feels when they pale in comparison to the greater pain being felt in other parts of the world? And you've just answered that beautifully, Lana. So thank you for that question, both of you. And thank you, Lana. The other theme I'm seeing come up here, these were just more sentiments expressed than questions. Conscious Connection had shared the collective energy feels exhausting and it makes me feel powerless. And EA shared that I have to remind myself that I'm enough. So that's kind of its own theme there. When you feel kind of like these things are so big, how do I move them at all? So that's a theme we can work on. Venice asks, how do I heal from abandonment issues?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, which can certainly be triggered. And there were two people who brought up ancestral wounding. And I feel like, based on what I'm seeing in the astrology and what we're seeing happening this week on the world stage, there is some sort of confrontation of ancestral wounding, patterning, and legacy that we're all in the process of experiencing at this time.
Yes, 100%.
Right? So if
Mhm.
there's anything you'd like to say to that, or if you'd like to just jump into the healing, we can do that as well. Up to you.
Yeah, I would love to address that actually, because I think it's important, and it ties like even to the comments of of what they're going through, of how they're feeling, of even the feelings of unworthiness and all that, because you know as divine beings, everything is tied. And right now, like, the reason why so many people feel things, what I see energetically, is that when these big things happen, like even just the word war, like everything has like an energetic charge to it. And when these things happen, there are images, there are memories, there are many things that get triggered in us. And we may not be aware of this, but for example, for me, the moment this started, I was brought into my, past lives that I had in Germany, in the First and Second World War, and how um, we as beings are so much more than what we think we are. And I think it's so important to work to find out who we are, you know, on a daily basis, in a constant basis. That's why we do healing. That's why we do this. That's why we do shadow work. But it's all a purpose. It's not about just like fixing yourself or, just improving something in you. It is about who are you really? It's so much about getting to know the magnificent being that you are in not just this plane, but starting to recognize, even as we go deeper into spiritual practice, we start to see that we are so much more than we thought we were. We are not just, bones and organs and this and brain. There's a higher consciousness. There is this energy that we are all channels of that is connecting us. And because we're part of that magnificent energy, we are also magnificent. But we have to get to know ourselves in order to see what we are, who we are, and why we came here. So that's when we start to have more of our tools and gather more of this knowledge and to say, okay, no matter what's happening in this world, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what anyone is going through, I am a divine being and I'm creating this world. I am a soul having an experience here on this planet, and everything that is part of my experience is here for a reason. Everything is here to teach me. Everything is here according to a divine plan, according to something that a perspective of myself, a part of myself created for me to experience here. So I know this may be a little bit out there, for some people, but if you can just like feel into the words and feel into the vastness of you in this moment and start to see what quality the energy has that is actually connecting you to everything. Is it an energy that feels good? It feels peaceful, feels like a quiet river? Does it feel like it expands into infinity? Does it feel like you're safe and you're taken care of? And most of the times you will answer yes, because that's our state. That's the inner current that flows, the peace, the stillness. That's who we are. And then all of the other things, they are ripples and things will come always. We are in this life to experience this, but we can have and hold this perspective and this curiosity just like a little child. For a child, the world can be as huge, as big and expansive, or as small as he wishes it to be. They can be living in worlds and worlds of fantasies, or they can be looking at an ant and enjoying it, or not, or, fighting with someone, or climbing a tree, or whatever. But the child is flowing, is one with the universe. He's not trying to control the universe. He's not trying to control what's going to happen. He's not trying to figure out everything that will come or why things happened and all of that. The child is always in the now. And when we are in that perspective, we actually know that we have everything that we need, that we're taken care of. By who? By that current of energy that we are. By ourselves as well. So the more we can deepen that which for me is a part of getting to know yourself profoundly. It's not about getting to know, what hobbies you like or this. That's part of it. But it's getting to know what moves your soul. Like, how do you see the world? Because the world that you see, you are creating it. So if the world seems a very boring place, that's something that you are creating through your perspective. It may be a boring place for you, but it may not be a boring place for me, right? So we can start to identify our own selves and who we are based on how we see the world at large, based on how we react. And we can also make adjustments. Hey, I would like to live in a world that seems magical and beautiful and loving, and where people show up for them, for others, and where we're helping each other, where I'm kind and you're kind, and we're all working together. Well, if you want to see that, you have to start being that so that it can manifest in your universe, in your experience. Because we're all creating our own timelines. I know a lot of people talk about timelines, but I think it's rarely explained how much of the um, creation of the timelines we are part of. Like, we are the ones who create the timelines. There is no other being or things outside creating these timelines for us. We are creating them. So when these things happen, if we want to quantum manifest a different reality, we have to start living in that reality. We have to start creating it. And we create it with our thoughts, with our emotions, with our decisions, but especially with the way we think about things. Because those trigger the emotional response. The emotional response triggers the action triggers the result. So the way that we think about the world, about us, about people, that will immediately give you correspondence in reality. So if you think that people are nice and giving and meaning well, it's very likely that you will find these people a lot in your daily life, that you will encounter a lot of people who have those qualities. And your experience will continue to confirm that, because that's how we create. We create a thought, we have a thought, a belief, and then the world starts to bring the evidence of that thought. But it also works in the negative, right? So if I think the world is a very dark place, then the energy will give me that feedback, and it will start showing me all the ways in which the world is a very dark place. And the more it shows me evidence, the more my thought of it will re-imprint. And the more I receive evidence, the more I will say, oh, you see, I was right. But what we have to realize is that the very first thought was created by you, and you only. And you decided through that thought. So we always have a choice. That's our free will. Free will is way more than, just being able to choose. It's about us being able to create our own experience in this lifetime. But of course, if we want to be the creators, we need to take full responsibility of what we're creating, of our thoughts. And sometimes it's easier to blame other people, blame things that are outside of us. But in reality, they're only a manifestation of what we previously decided and thought. So, a way to just wrap this or bring this all together is, the more you know yourself, you will come to know that you are much more powerful than they have told you. You have much more love within yourself. The qualities within you are infinite. You can be everything. You can decide to be good at many, many things in one lifetime. You don't have to just choose one thing. And this is part of our hero's journey. This is what we do as souls. We come in and we have a different suit, a different heritage, a different lineage, because we came here to experience everything. So all of us have experienced war. We all have experienced being from completely different cultures. We have all experienced being born in different places of the earth. We have experienced being rich, being poor, all the things in the middle. That's part of our whole um, learning experience. When you start to taste flavors, you want to try all the flavors, right? So we are trying all the flavors basically. But the one thing that we can do is we can become more conscious of what we're doing so that we can create more consciously and consciously influence the world, which is what light workers do. Become conscious of your light, that you're carrying the light, and then you're able to project that light into the world through your own healing, through your own awareness. And that way we can help others, but it's always through our own example because we are creating the timelines where this is possible. So when this happens, when these things happen, I always recommend people who are spiritual, who are meditating, to go into the highest part of you and to imagine a timeline where this resolves, where this heals, where, to think this new or this resolution into existence, to create it in your world. There are many ways to see and to think about everything. There are infinite ways. So why don't you choose something, a thought that has hope, that has love, that has compassion? And then what you will see manifest in your world will be an expression of that, a reverberation of that, and more proof that there is compassion there, that there is love there, that things are getting better, that we are ascending, that we are more conscious. Because we are, and we're all going there. We're all on our own paths. There is more light and more light and more light. But we have to also be willing to see it, to recognize it, to hold it. And we do that by holding it within ourselves first. So finding that worth, that worthiness of being alive, of being here, of living, of having a beautiful experience here, no matter what happens, no matter if things go good or bad, and because those are all circumstances. But if you choose today, I want to have a beautiful life, I want to have a beautiful experience, right now, right here, it is done. You have created that timeline now. You just have to be and know that it is done. And everything around you will start to give you proof of that experience.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lana. Thank you. I think that's kind of a recurring theme that I'm seeing here, no matter which way people ask the question about, kind of getting started in a business or letting go of an addiction or, how do I deal with the world energies? The recurring theme is how do I get reconnected to my power in a circumstance that seems to want to constantly remind me of my powerlessness? Whether it's my own pain, world pain, past pain, generational pain, family pain, whatever it is,
Mhm.
it seems like the common thread
Okay.
is about reconnecting to where I have power in the moment to impact change either in my life or worldwide. So if you want to use that as a jump off point, we can. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, just to say a few words to that as a very small, clear answer is, um, you find that power within you when you start taking your power back. And like a part of that is taking your power back from all the places where you're giving your power away. And for that, you need awareness, you need observation, being aware and conscious of, where am I giving my power away? Where am I letting other people decide for me? Where am I recycling thoughts, patterns, things? And what patterns do I want to have? What do I want to create? So, that simple question can already guide you and pinpoint you to the path of retrieving your power. And again, the world is you. So, starting to see that we are responsible for what we see in each of our worlds, in each of our universes. So if there's something that you don't like there, know that you can change that. But you have to see that within yourself. Where is that part of me that wants to see this? Where is that part of me that always looks for these stories, or that always looks for these people in my life, or that looks for a certain kind of energy? What is that part in me that is wanting to have that experience? And that's all more about knowing yourself, and then from there you can heal that, right? When you see it, you can heal it. So first step to see it, then you can heal it. If you need help, you can go to someone, or you can start in your own healing journey. And you just focus on the healing. Stop focusing on the thing that is happening or not happening. Just focus on your healing and replenishing yourself where you thought you were lacking something. And then the end result will be that those relationships will disappear from your life, and different kinds of relationships will come into your life. We don't have to focus or hypervigilate the outside if we're doing the work inside. If you're doing the work inside, focus on your work inside. Focus on replenishing. Focus on creating a beautiful, healthy universe within you, in your heart space, in your mind, in your soul, in your body. And you will see how all outside, even abundance, even business, relationship, everything will start to accommodate the new vibration that you're holding, which will be a vibration of love, of compassion, of healing. So, guess what's going to happen in your life? Everything in your life is going to start healing. And the more you see the results of that healing, the more you will know that you are healing. So, that healing will trigger healing in other parts of your systems. And then it will come a time where you are become neutral again, balanced again. And this is something that we can continually do, and that all of you are able to experience. Everyone. Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lana. Okay. So, for those of you who are just joining, welcome. Definitely hit that like button. We're probably going to go into the healing shortly here, but please make yourself comfortable. Turn on the lights, light a candle if you desire, put some soothing scents on, relaxing clothes if you haven't already, stretch out. You don't have to know what Lana's doing in order to be able to receive the healing transmission. So just feel free to let the waves of this energy wash over you.
Okay. So we're going to go into the healing for everybody. If you can, lie down on your back with a straight spine, or if you want, you can also do it sitting. But many times it's more comfortable if you're laying down, you can relax. Just uncross your legs and your arms so that the energy can properly flow. Okay. And for everyone, just in case I forget, after the healing, please always make sure to drink lots of water. Hydrate a lot in the coming days and weeks. Okay. And we're going to address a lot of what we spoke, and also grounding you in your power, grounding you in the perspective, and also releasing all the things that were keeping you not in your power. And we are also going to go, depending on how they guide me, but probably going into a little bit of the ancestral, the collective energies, just to clear any reverberations of war and past traumatic events, etc., to really neutralize and alchemize that energy so that we can use the energy that is there available, but transmute it to a higher frequency and create a higher timeline. So, for us, for ourselves, for our own universes, for your universes, but also for the planet itself. Okay? Wonderful. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath in. It's just a little light language to start to prepare the fields, the energies, opening up a sacred space. They're showing me these beautiful gates with very with huge walls, white walls. They look like the gates of a temple. And they're all encoded in like golden glyphs and codes. You can start at the gate of your own heart temple or light temple and start to see how it looks as we call in all of your angels, your guides, all of your spiritual teachers, your teams of love and light, all the high beings, the ascended masters, the saints, the holy angels, Ahamai Kyashanaye, guardians, Bahteshaya, guardians of earth, Bori Yad Erem Ahat Eikan Edan Daeya. And they're calling in, they're saying the bird tribes, so the avians, Ak Aniye Tere Yataram. And these are just lineages, all of the galactic, when we say Lemurian, Arcturian, Syrian, all of these are part of our galactic lineage. And they're part of who we are as human beings, as a complete scope of who we are. We all have all of these lineages. We see all of these guardians on earth, in different parts of the earth. We see a beautiful emerald green, turquoise, and a lot of orange, bright orange, like a bright sun starting to shine over Mother Earth, starting to shine over your body, feeling the sun warming your skin, starting to receive this highest light from the divine, starting to receive this transmission of love, the highest source, the highest energy. Starting to receive the transmission of frequency of union and oneness. Coming in through your crown, your third eye. Starting to flow through all of your body and your systems. Seeing golden light and light blue, cleansing, washing your body, washing your fields, releasing any old energies, any tiredness of the journey, tiredness, depletion, disappointment, any of these energies through the time, through all of your lifetimes. Starting to clear and cleanse the healer and light worker template. Cleansing. Bring healing to all parts of you that you perhaps didn't address in previous lifetimes. Any healing that didn't happen because of serving others, perhaps not focusing on your own healing. And this is part of the old paradigm where many light workers and healers would just sacrifice, self-sacrifice, releasing all of the templates of sacrifice and sacrificial tomes out of your field. Releasing also all about victim consciousness, all the parts of the lower mind of the human that go into boycott, that go into tantrum, go into resistance whenever there are big shifts in the field, because shifts may be destabilizing. But all who are here, all of you listening, are able to ride the waves of change. You're able to adjust because you are energetic beings and you calibrate through frequency. So we're going to download from the divine the knowledge, the awareness of yourself, if this is meant for you at this time, if you want to receive. The awareness of you as a multidimensional being and as a channel, receiver, transmitter, and projector of energy. We're going to start to tone you, yourself, to your original frequency, the holy frequency of who you are, your energetic tune, vibration. And this will release all dissonance and all patterns and tunes that are not in alignment with you. And taking a deep breath in. Ra, 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 ra. Ere iya uyemish irambata iren haria payewa hayanaki yayashayite. We're starting to free the mind, the human, the soul, from any and all distortions, patterns, any and all impositions on your field, any false truths, false light, any and all negative systems, artificial systems, negative energies, entities, all energies that are not organic to you, to your frequency. You can see them just dropping off your field, releasing like dust or like smoke, just being cleansed out of your brain, your mind, the inner mind, your subconscious, unconscious, and all levels and layers of your mind capacity, the brain chemistry, body chemistry, body frequency. Shaikoma fasha wate here ma weta 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 sheba de de man tare yem a weta ham aika hare. Releasing old reptilian timelines and energies. Opening through your ancestral lineages of light, connecting to inner medicine, activating divine medicine in your physical body, your mind, your heart. They're saying dissipating all illusion, dissipating all fear, dissipating all doubt, dissipating all control that is not yours, that is not coming from you. Starting to realize and to see yourself in your true nature as a peaceful, loving being, a divine being, a free being, free of judgment, free of pain, free of burden. Starting to go deeper into your divine nature, which is beyond all thought, beyond all emotion, beyond all circumstance. Coming into the heart, your heart temple, and starting to meet you for the first time, seeing that loving, gentle, powerful, infinite, beautiful, divinely conscious energy that you are. You are divine intelligence. You are divinity. M-A-L-E Koya. Bring in all activations and codes and realizations into the human, to the body, the mind, to all places of the field that need to be updated now. Cleansing and recombining the chemistry of the bodies, of the fields. We're going to activate through the magnetic energy, divine mother energy, bringing in this divine feminine energy through the heart, allowing her to nurture, to blossom, to take care of all of your dreams, your projects, your visions, to expand your wisdom, your capacity to receive, your capacity to effortlessly attract all that is needed for you, all that your heart desires. As a natural course of life, as the next cycle of life. Bring in all the ancient knowledge of cycles and rhythms, tuning you and your feminine, your inner feminine energy with your specific frequency of life and light, allowing the adjustments to ripple through your field. Bring now the energy of the divine masculine. Oro ye oro mare o mare marai dahare. And bring strength connecting to the divine father, to the elders, to the most divine conscious, divine masculine energy, to the gatekeepers, the protectors, the light holders, Orako Yelai, within earth, Orokai, and connecting to your own ancestry, starting to feel the support of all of these divine, beautiful, powerful, divine masculines, feeling and receiving their wisdom, their knowledge, their support, their strength, their certainty, feeling how this energy is so certain, so safe, so secure. It is unmovable because it is truth, it is divine, it is unshakable. Bala hare kiere. And they're saying these are the walls, this is the infrastructure, this is the divine architecture needed now. Allowing this divine infrastructure to be created in your field through the roots all the way up, like a beautiful tree expanding and branching out in divine light, in peace, in awareness, in divine consciousness. Allowing this to ripple and reflect in the 3D as well, in the material, through the elemental realms. We're going to activate beautiful holographic spheres of light all around your body, especially the mind, the ears, and higher chakras. We're going to ask that all of the memories and all of the painful memories and all of the energies that you no longer need, all of the form thoughts, patterns, imprints, ways of seeing, ways of being that are no longer in alignment with your highest frequency at this time, with your potential of your highest timeline and outcome, that all of them are gently released from your body and field to make way and make room Om Marike, for the new energies, starting to create a new version, starting to receive this gift of this new frequency running through your field, which feels much more natural, much more aligned, much more in ease and peace. So easy, so peaceful, so still. Mohamliye Gadeya, so supported and supportive, so loved and loving, so strong, so courageous, so beautiful, so kind. Halarike Bare Rikaye, so lucky, infinitely lucky and favored by the divine. Barike, barike, haleshe. as you discover the innocence and the purity of your own being. As your light within reveals to you exactly who you are, exactly who you are in this world, and why you came here. You're all shining and glowing in this beautiful light blue energy as divine seeds. And you're all distributed in a perfect manner throughout all the world. And I can see you all shining brightly as you receive these revelations. Starting to see and to feel, to understand what union is, how union feels and looks like within your own perspective, within your field. Feeling all of who you are and feeling that gratitude for just being here, for being part of the divine expression, for being part of the divine, and for experiencing all that you're experiencing right now. Already. You're going to continue to release templates and timelines through the mind, especially removing all mind grids and locks and seals, activating through your divine twin flame template of feminine masculine. We can see the red and the blue at the heart coming together and activating for those of you who are ready to activate all of this remembrance and this self-knowing and self-awareness of your true light mission here and who you truly are. Deepening and deepening every time you go into your practice, every time you connect to God, to the divine, to infinity, every time you are silent and listen. Hara Hare Taharam Ahate Hayare Yantai Hari Guru. Activating the music of the great halls of light, of the spheres of light. Hanti, Haili, Bodhi. And allowing this embrace by the light, your jazz, and all that you need in order to be supported at this time is downloaded. That you feel, see, hear, and know the support of your guides, your angels, strengthening the bond, allowing them to help, to heal, to cooperate. They're saying, ask and you shall receive. Ahamariyera, halare kantaisha. Anchoring this new light in your heart, your field, and seeing how the seed of light will continue to expand and multiply and radiate this your newfound frequency, divine frequency. and create new templates, new versions of you, new universes. In the light, in the consciousness. Allowing this to expand and ripple and reflect through your universe, your perspective of the world. As above, so below. As within, so without. And we're going to seal all divine protections, new grids, sealing each and every one in the light, in the love, in the presence of the one. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. You can continue to receive, breathing in deeply, and very gently, very slowly, starting to breathe in, filling your lungs with air and belly. As you come back, stabilize the energy. As you slowly come back into your body now. Into this beautiful now, into this beautiful new earth, into this beautiful new birth. You can continue to breathe, or you can continue to receive. For those of you who want to come back, you can slowly move your toes, your fingertips, your neck, your shoulders, your hands, your legs. Now you can rub the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet if you like. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Lana.
How are you, dear?
Powerful healing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I felt it too.
Such a gift.
I'm feeling a lot of relief and like more relaxation, which is okay. It's okay to relax.
Oh, say it again.
It's it's okay to relax.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that reminder. We've got lots of gratitude and thanks in the chat for sharing your gift.
Oh, thank you.
If you've never had a healing with Lana, I highly recommend it. You can find her over on her YouTube channel and set up private healings with her through her website. How are you guys feeling now that you're coming back? I'm seeing you guys share in the chat. How are you guys feeling? Susie Q says she's feeling amazing. Allison says, wow, that was intense. Sam says, truly grateful for this energy. Yeah. Kelly says it was a divine and lovely healing. Eve says, I saw the women in my ancestry holding me from my chest, expanding infinitely, and my masculine ancestor is holding me from my back. Beautiful.
Beautiful. I got like tears of joy hearing that one. Emotional.
Yeah. Lots of gratitude coming through. Adriana shares that she sees the energy in many colors. And Alvi shares that they feel refreshed, grounded, and enlightened.
Yes. So
Nat says so much heart sensation. Yeah.
I saw so many like activating very profoundly in this. I don't know, like, I don't know who's tuning in, but in this particular moment in time, and like the energy of the collective felt like, especially I think through the divine feminine, like really receiving, like really grounding and activating, which was very beautiful. Lots of advanced souls there. um, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Lana.
Thank you. Thank you, Kay, for doing this and for providing the space for everyone to come together and heal together, because that's how we heal. I see that the most profound healings, they come from, of course, our work individually, but we're also part of each other. So when we come together and do this, an intention, we can heal exponentially very fast. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I just added Lana's website to the chat. If anyone feels like they have some things that they'd like to personally work on, you can do that. The link to her website is there. And I'll be adding all of her other links just below the video as we wrap up. Okay. So, as you all know, many of you have done healings before. Good time to drink lots of water, right?
And rest
Yes.
if you can. And also, you can come back, to this healing and do it again. Every time you do, well, I don't know about all healings, but in my healings, I have the experience that every time you do it, it just goes like a layer deeper, or it goes right into the parts that need it, right? Because your energy or frequency, the fields just adjust to what you particularly need at that time. So if in a couple of days you feel like, oh, I could, use a little bit more peace, ground again, I want to feel how I was feeling, go back to the healing, go back to meditation, and you will feel that again, and you continue to anchor that more and more each time. Okay.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
Glad.
You guys are so welcome. I'm seeing like thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you coming through the chat. For you, for the hosting of this week and for hosting the healing. So I'm just so glad you guys are getting so much from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, Venice, you can do it every day if you want. Absolutely. And Lana does a lot of healings on her channel as well, similar to exactly what we did today. There might be a chat to talk about the current energies and what you're experiencing. And then she'll go into a collective healing to work with those energies and bring you back into power, sovereignty, truth, and love. So if you're curious about that, please subscribe to her channel. Um, you can catch her at least once a week in most cases, providing these kinds of healings that will allow you to experience what you experienced today. And she does these for free. So there's no reason not to. All right.
Thank you so much, Kay, for sharing that.
It's my pleasure. I'm so grateful that you have placed yourself on YouTube where people can find you. Thank you.
Not you.
Yeah. All right, everyone. This is Kay Moon, your host for Shadow Work Week, closing out the week with this beautiful healing from Lana, Healer Medicine Woman. So grateful for everyone who's joined us, and a very special thank you to each of the moderators who have facilitated support here in the chat for every live throughout the week. I am so grateful to each of you that you would choose to show up, that you would choose to share, that you would choose to be present. Thank you. All right, all. We'll close it up here. Take great care, everyone, and bye